Idiot.
How?
PS messages.
You don't have my phone number.
PS messages. I have a phone where I can send you a message on PlayStation. Oh my god, are you a retard?
No, are you angry?
PlayStation. Oh my god, are you a retard?
I can hear you stream, I think. How many viewers do you have?
0.
How many viewers do you have? Why?
Sending you the link. Wait, was that you watching? Oh, one's going on his phone. Okay. Wait.
Hello?
Hello. Wait, was that you watching my stream or not?
No.
Oh, well, I actually got a legitimate viewer then.
Yeah. I've stream.
Nice. Well, I think I'm gonna go.
This channel is a friendly channel. If there's swearing, I don't do it.
I like how it's just absolute bullshit. Well, I'm gonna leave Playground and then fucking go back into another one so there's no building on it.
Why do we only start though?
He left. He's watching someone else's stream on it. Wait, are you watching? I've watched stream. Are you leaving party to watch stream? Are you leaving party to watch stream? Alright.
I'm gonna go watch stream.
Oh no.
Oh God's sake, I have it on low gravity. What, tornado's definitely getting bigger. Shit. So, how's EA been, Liam? Oh, it's not me at all. Can the event happen already? Don't
Love you,
complain.
Tyler. Oh my god, I knocked him. Okay, I thought I died. Balloon guy's dead. Keep building, I got you. Reinforcements are here, it's like the Avengers. Din, din. Din, 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 din. Bam, bam, train. No! Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Building is down. Eggs! Oh my Christ! Somebody raise me more eggs! Lots of eggs! It's Easter! I'm getting farted on! This game sucks!
Help! Please! Build around me! Oh my. I'm getting finished. No! I think we should hide our screens.
I think we should help us kill. That's what I think. That's something to do with this with Connor. Don't worry.
Then why are like so many people pushing us?
Look at the zone. Oh, man. I got
The zone's so far away.
No, see how it's a southern zone? Everyone's
What?
having to push through it. Everyone's having to go from the north side of the map to the south side. Reboot me, Noah.
Yeah, get our cards, please, Noah.
Right there, he got shot. Sneak away, now's your chance. Don't break anything, just head it down, sneak away. Yeah, just crouch walk the whole way. You can't.
Alright. Hey? What's happening? Yo. Yeah, I got some mods and then placed it. Sweat, gotta see if I can watch it today.
I saw you, but it's fine. You just keep moving. No one will shoot. Oh my god.
You're done.
Alright, Noah, you're dead. Let it be cannon play. It might be cannon play time. Oh god,
What?
Noah, no, what are you doing?
happening?
What?
That thing was so shaky and jittery. This is a bad angle.
Oh.
I can't build.
Yeah,
Oh.
you don't take damage though, you're good. Okay. Alright, hide the tools. I'll never expect it. Oh. Boom! Nice. Little dink. Little dink. Shields are broken. He's got a heavy snipe you. Oh. Everyone's got it.
They're right in the house. There's a guy just coming at me.
Stop popping eagles, right? Good job. He's slow to point. You can, oh, okay. Ooh, when did that guy get there? Yeah, he had redeploy, that's fine.
Are you lagging, Noah?
No, I just saw Connor. Oh, zone. You can't take a tick. Nice! Don't fall. Connect to the mountain. Nice.
How many of those lasers are there?
Right now there's three. I got a llama. Oh, the rune is floating above Blue Lake. I didn't know that. There's extra minis right there. Connor! I was here earlier and I didn't notice this. Am I dumb? I must be dumb.
What?
Duck's being dumb. The rune, it's floating over Blue Lake. Yes! I'm alive! Oh my god, they're sniping me! Landing above.
Oh, they're all on me. I'm okay.
On July 20th, 1991, the world was introduced to Frieza's older brother, Cooler, the older brother of Frieza, who was never mentioned throughout the series until Frieza's defeat to Goku. In Cooler's revenge, it was revealed that Goku was almost killed by Cooler because he was watching the destruction of planet Vegeta, but he allowed Goku to go free. So Frieza learns how to take responsibility for his actions. Years hours later, he then goes to Earth to find the Super Saiyan that shamed his family name. And it turns out, just like a Dragon Ball Z movie would, Cooler gets overconfident, Goku goes Super Saiyan, and Cooler dies at the very end. Except for when he really didn't and he became a robot, but that is neither here nor there. Fun fact, the original Japanese movie title is Dragon Ball Z, The Incredible Mightiest vs. Mightiest. And Toei had its own English title, which is Dragon Ball Z, The Strongest Rivals. Which, if I'm honest, Cooler's Revenge sounds a lot cooler than any of the other movie titles that they ended up going with. So far in Super, we haven't heard anything about him. But what if Cooler was part of the main timeline? How would he change the timeline? Will he make a big difference? Let's get started and find out. The story begins a few hours before King Cold and Frieza land on planet Vegeta in the original timeline. King Cold is ready to retire, and he has to choose between two of his sons. Barry Blue asks if King Cold has already chosen someone to take his place, to which King Cold says yes, he'll announce it once they land. And upon landing, he announces his retirement. The one who will take over his position out of his sons is Frieza. This shocks Cooler as he turns to his father in anger. How could you choose him over me? I have worked hard to earn this.
Not that one right there, King Kong, because it's the one. Oh, it's getting late.
Frieza was born with great potential. This is the last straw. Cooler storms off to the ship as Frieza is doing his thing, like in the original timeline, taking out the snipers, showing off the scouters. He tells Barry Blue that he will be heading off into space. He'll build his own empire, stronger than that of the Frieza Force. It makes him sick just calling it like that. Why would Cooler be telling Barry Blue all of this, that he's gonna leave and betray his family? Well, I think that Barry Blue is a mother-like figure to him and Frieza, so he'd be kind of open to tell her this. Well, yes, I wasn't the one who came up with it. I will be using it here because I kind of like it, that they at least got a mother-like figure. With that, Cooler just heads out into the far reaches of the universe where he's not going to run into any of his family. It's his territory. He can build a better empire than Cold could ever do. He's obviously kind of like self-exiled himself because he just doesn't care for them anymore. However, during his crusade, he gets word that Frieza might blow up planet Vegeta, so he goes to see if this is true. When he gets there, we get the whole scene of him seeing Goku's pod, and he really doesn't do anything about it, just like in the movie. He lets Goku go to teach Frieza some responsibility for any mistakes that he makes, and plus, this Saiyan may prove useful in the future one day. We get an anime time skip to around the Red Ribbon Army arc. I think this is the time when Cooler would be killing off Universe 6's Metal Men, or as you may know them, Mugetta's race. I think around this time is when Cooler finds his fifth form, the Super Shredder form, probably the best transformation out of all the Frieza race characters. This is just my best guess on when he gets the form. For all I know, it could have been like much sooner or like a lot later. Maybe he discovers the form a week before he goes to fight Goku. Who knows? Nothing really happens until the end of the Namek Saga. After Goku actually beats Frieza, King Cold still finds Frieza's body messed up. The one big thing is that Barry Blue gets in contact with Cooler, telling him that his younger brother was defeated by a Super Saiyan. Cooler, while shocked, he definitely saw this coming. Cooler tells her that he's got to see Daddy's little princess all bleeding up. When Cooler arrives, his dad gives him the cold shoulder. He demands to see his younger brother. Frieza at this point is almost fully rebuilt. Cooler laughs at Frieza, telling him, ho ho ho, the for this family honor, or the family in general. However, he does want to see the Saiyan who beat Frieza. On their way to Earth, Frieza, Cooler, and King Cold have done about 4 weeks worth of training, as being they can't really get along, so it's barely even possible to do a month. This means that when they get to Earth, they are far stronger than what Frieza and King Cold were when they landed on Earth. Everything until Trunks taking down all the minions and Cooler's armored squad pretty much stays the same. Trunks does slightly have a challenge with the armored squad, but eventually they're defeated, just like the rest of the minions. Just shoot aside. With Trunks taking down all the henchmen, it's time for Frieza to make his grand entrance. And unfortunately for Trunks, he is unable to even hurt Frieza. During the fight, Cooler walks out of the ship, asking Frieza, "Is this the Super Saiyan who beat you?" Trunks is once again shocked because he wasn't aware that there was another person, but much less that they were as strong as him. So what I'm trying to get at is that this is Trunks from the History of Trunks special, from the original quote-unquote timeline. Frieza replies to Cooler's question saying no, that this Saiyan is almost as strong as the one he fought on Namek. Cooler tells Frieza to stop playing around with him and just kill him. But just as Frieza's about to kill Trunks, Goku steps in, using his instant transmission, knocking Frieza away. Frieza states that, yes, this is the Saiyan who beat me on Namek. Frieza also says that this is a one-on-one battle between the two, and he will get his revenge on Goku. To which Cooler says, yeah, sure, go ahead. I doubt you'll even live through it. Frieza begins his battle with Goku, and we finally get a battle between Mecha Frieza and Super Saiyan Goku. Well, actually, Mecha Frieza in this timeline ends up winning. They've trained for 4 weeks before getting to Earth. Frieza, standing over Goku, begins to laugh, saying that he had nothing to worry about. All he had to do was train for 4 weeks, and there it is. Goku's on the floor. He was beaten. The Super Saiyan was nothing special. But before he can finish his sentence, there are multiple beams going right through him. They're going through his arms, legs, and his head. This pretty much kills Frieza instantly. Cooler is just standing there with his finger out, smiling. This shocks King Cold, asking Cooler, why did he do this? Why? It was his little brother. Cooler, not looking at him, says that he was being too cocky and annoying. He never deserved anything he got. He just got it from nothing. He got it from birth. Cooler had to work up for what he got. But Cooler gets rid of King Cold, just like Trunks did in the original timeline, and nobody really knows how to feel about this. Cooler, Frieza's older brother, just saved him from his own family. Cooler then looks at pretty much at the 2 defeated Saiyans, saying that Cooler states that he did not do this out of the kindness of his heart. He needs the Saiyan for a future threat. He tells Goku that years ago, he let him live, and that's how he got to Earth. Cooler had the chance to kill Goku, but didn't. Now that he has no Cooler armored squadron, he'd like to take the Saiyan in there, like totally before on the top right corner. Do the Saiyans join Cooler and pretty much head off into space to take care of this future threat, or do they join Cooler in his future threat thing, or does Cooler wait until after the Cell Games to come and pick them?
Hey, what's up, Plus Ultra fam? It's me, Plus Ultraman, and today we're for... I think that will make a really big impact on Trunks. Then see Trunks saying goodbye to a very tired Bulma as he climbs on the time machine. Once he blasts off, Bulma looks down to see that she's typing in the wrong coordinates into the navigation system, showing that she's actually sent him a little while after Grandpa Gohan's death, and a while before she arrives to meet Kid Goku. Now when Trunks arrives in the past, he realizes that he's missed his mark by about 30 years, and he comes up with a new plan. Remember, this is when we thought that actions in the past would change the future, but we didn't know that Toriyama was working off multiverse theory. Calming down from his panic, Trunks realizes that he can still make this work. It wasn't the original plan, but if he is still able to power up Goku and somehow get him the heart medicine that his mother made, he could still come out on top. So, knowing where Mount Paozu was because of talking to his mom and Gohan, Trunks zooms in that direction to find Goku. Once there and finding Goku, Trunks could just tell him that his name was T or something, that he really just wanted to stay and train to make Goku stronger. All you really has to do is be nice, and I feel like Trunks could really pull that off. Not to mention, Goku has nothing to do. He can only go hunting and train in his martial arts so many times before that gets pretty boring to him. So I'm sure he'd be very excited to train with somebody else, especially after losing Grandpa Gohan. Goku will be even more excited when he saw how strong Trunks actually was. Trunks does put on a show, but he keeps his power level low enough to where it wouldn't alert everybody on it. Trunks also has the idea of taking the heart medicine to his grandfather at Capsule Corp, where he could then reverse engineer it and mass produce it. This would eliminate the chance that Goku would die from the heart virus. Now, Trunks' new goal, like Gohan before his, is to get Goku to become a Super Saiyan. If that happens, then Goku would have a major head start, and it would cause a domino effect that could also make the other Z fighters stronger. This also means that Trunks has to explain to Goku that he's a Saiyan and what his tail really means for him. Right after yanking it out. Yeah, Goku loses his tail. He'd be way too dangerous if he was stronger than he was in the original series and also had his graded form on top. Having this all thought through, Trunks gets very happy at the idea that the androids, when they did come, wouldn't stand a chance. And with all the bases covered and no idea that his timeline would remain unchanged, Trunks decided that he would spend the next year putting his plan to action, and that this plan was completely fine. Now, training with a Super Saiyan level fighter would definitely make Goku leagues beyond his original timeline counterpart, but the entire time isn't spent towards Goku's strength. Trunks first has to teach Goku how to sense and weaponize his ki, which took some time in the original timeline, and would still take some time here. Remember, Goku is still the same, other than some more social interaction. And so, time passes on, and Trunks' plan does work in some regards. Goku is much stronger than he reasonably should be. I wager that he could be in the 50,000s in power level right now. Remember, Goku has a very strong training partner in Trunks. He also has normal times with Earth gravity, and would have gotten Zenkai boost slower because he can't just use his Zensu beam. He also had to take time out to learn ki control, which is still lacking very much, mind you. A bit sad that his plan didn't come to full fruition, and knowing that his mother would soon show up, Trunks decides to go in and say his goodbyes to his hero, and tells him to continue training as hard as he could until he caught the Trunks and became a Super Saiyan, and then go even further beyond. Trunks then goes off to Capsule Corp and gives his grandfather the heart medicine, telling him a disease would rear his head very soon, and they'd make a lot of money by being the first to have a mass-produced cure. I feel that's all Dr. Beast really needs to be convinced to go in and mass-produce the cure. Back in the present, Goku still meets up with Bulma, and the adventure goes almost the exact same, except Goku can pretty much steamroll literally anyone who stands against him. I place him about the 25,000 range in power level right now, and he also doesn't have his tail. Either way, nobody can stand against him right now. So, using the Dragon Balls is very easy. Goku is even able to put the fire out on the mountain by himself, but would still end up blowing it the hell up, just like Master Roshi. Seeing this, I feel like Ox King will probably tell Goku that he and his grandpa, and that they trained Master Roshi, and probably suggest that Goku should go and try and train Master Roshi, so he can learn to maybe control that great power he had. The rest of the Dragon Balls started to be pretty easy. They get the Dragon Balls and really have no real competition with the Pilaf gang, and Oolong would probably still steal the wish for a pair of bands. After that, Goku decides to follow up on the suggestion that Ox King had and flies off towards Kame House to see Master Roshi. He probably doesn't need the Nimbus in this timeline, as I'm sure it comes with time to fly. Once there, and after amazing Master Roshi and Krillin with the power he had, Goku and Krillin are accepted by Master Roshi and start to train with him. But Goku doesn't even have to train for the tournament the way Krillin would have to. He doesn't have to refine his strength and push past the limits of human beings. He's already well beyond that. He trains with Master Roshi on controlling his power and improving his technique. Seeing how strong Goku is pushed his Krillin to get even stronger and stronger himself, though. But when it came time for the tournament, they would still pretty much run through the competition. But I feel like Master Roshi disguised as Jackie Chun and still come out on top. If Master Roshi can dodge Jiren, he can dodge Goku and force him to fall in the ring. Then, moving on to the Red Ribbon Army arc, that would be a pretty easy W for Goku. Mercenary Tower not, meaning no training from Korin. King Piccolo is also defeated really easy, and since Goku would have killed him in the original timeline, I'm going to say that he is almost killed here too, only to be saved by a surprise appearance by Kami, who seems to have had a plan this entire time. Kami then convinces Goku not to kill Piccolo and seals his battered other half for the evil containment wave. And after that, there are no threats for Goku to have to contend with, and he can continue to train and try and reach Super Saiyan state, probably going to Korin first, per Kami's orders, and then to the lookout with Kami and Popo. There, Kami can again help refine his technique more, and he would probably participate in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament still. Skip 5 years into the Dragon Ball Z timeline, and I think Goku would have still married Chi-Chi, and nothing really would have changed, only that Goku might be a little bit more mature, with Chi-Chi would.
For God's sake. I feel like that one's actually the most important because it's just the thing that keeps so into it. That one.
I really like, because I feel like Trunks would have wanted Goku to grow up a lot faster, so he'd be more serious. Another exciting aspect is that when Gohan is born, he'd be much, much stronger, because remember that Goten and Trunks are stronger when they're born because of the S cell. This means Gohan's potential would be exponentially more than what it was in the original timeline. Now, when Raditz arrives on Earth, he finds no Piccolo Jr. This is because Goku beat Piccolo Daimao in their first fight, and then Kami sealed him, which means Piccolo Jr. was not allowed to be born. Raditz would immediately head over to Kami House, sensing the highest power levels in that direction. And once he met with Goku, and realizing that he had a higher power level than Vegeta, Raditz would have been floored. Hearing this through the scouter intrigues Vegeta, and he and Nappa blast off to Earth. Raditz realizes that his brother is much stronger than Vegeta, and therefore switches his loyalty over to his younger brother. Goku is more than happy to accept his brother. He already knows what Saiyans are and would have probably came to terms with the fact that they were pretty violent people. He's also really happy to have somebody who can pick their brain off of and learn more about Saiyan culture. Trunks wasn't there to understand what real Saiyans were like, but Raditz was, and Goku can pick his brain and hear about these things. He also gets a new training partner, which again is just icing on the cake for him. After a year of travel, Nappa and Vegeta be very shocked to see how strong the people of Earth were. Remember, Goku's strength has caused a domino effect. This means that a Cyberman is nowhere near the level of Krillin. And Raditz and Goku have been sparring partners for this entire year. So I feel like Raditz would be easily above Nappa right now, and Goku easily above Vegeta, probably in the 30,000s. Nappa and Vegeta's only real hope would be Great Form. And remember, Goku would know about this timeline and would not allow it. This means that he's able to beat Nappa and Vegeta without the Kaioken, which is amazing. Beaten down and his pride hurt, Vegeta has a realization that through Goku, he could grow strong enough to defeat Frieza and become the first Super Saiyan. Then he'd come back and take down Goku. Goku doesn't find Vegeta threatening in the least bit, and would welcome a new training partner. So, Goku, now with 3 Saiyan training partners, continues to train hard to attain the Super Saiyan state. Vegeta, however, is the only one with the real desire to defeat Frieza. During this, I think Goku would have had the idea to still have Bulma build him a gravity chamber, which Saiyans would take advantage of. And meeting up, Bulma and Vegeta would still likely be attracted to each other, and I can see Trunks being born early in this timeline. And because I just like the pairing, I think that Raditz and Launch still shack up and have a kid around the same time. So now you have the Saiyans all training and bonding together and finding attachments here on Earth that are starting to kind of change them like they do to Vegeta. Even Nappa, who I doubt would shack up with anybody, finds that the food and the people are really fun to play with and enjoy his time there. So now you have 4 Saiyans trained together on Earth with the gravity chamber in the Roman Spirit of Time. But it can only be used for 2 days, mind you, because remember, when Kami was controlled, you can only use it twice in a lifetime. The Saiyans would have grown by leaps and bounds, probably into the high 100,000s, and maybe even the millions for Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta now realizes that he's twice as strong as Frieza, or at least in his first form, because remember, he wondered what Namek and heard from Zarbon that Frieza can transform. And speaking of, Frieza is not on Namek right now because there's been no mention of the Dragon Balls with the Scouters on. This means that Frieza's just relaxing somewhere, lounging about and conquering planets, but I think Vegeta would know a way to draw him out. He then brings Nappa with him as they plan to set out and go take on the Emperor. Goku and Raditz decide to stay on Earth and train, though. Goku would like the challenge, but reaching Super Saiyan is much more important to him, and Frieza is not truly a threat to him at the moment. Raditz, on the other hand, just wants to stay alive, so he'd rather stay on Earth. This works, though. Vegeta leaves and tells Goku that as soon as he becomes the first Super Saiyan, he'll be back to kill him. Goku only smiles and waves him goodbye, knowing that Vegeta has changed a lot and bonded with everyone too much to truly come back and kill them. This is not the same Vegeta and Nappa. Nappa and Vegeta then climb into their old space pods and fly off towards the nearest Frieza-controlled planet and start wreaking havoc. The plan is cause enough trouble for the Emperor to where he has to show up and control them himself. Vegeta is however horrified when Frieza does show up and assumes his second form, matching Vegeta in his power. This means it isn't super hard for Frieza to take them down, as he can just take his third form before Vegeta is completely obliterated. He warns Frieza of another Saiyan on the planet Earth who truly had become a Super Saiyan, and that he would avenge the Saiyans right before he and Nappa are snuffed out. Frieza, while celebrating his victory, laments that the planet Earth has to be destroyed. If there are more Saiyans there, he cannot allow them to keep living if they're going to be such a nuisance. So he sets course towards the planet, and Goku with Raditz will be training the entire time. After a few months, Frieza arrives to destroy the planet, and Goku would have felt him long ago, because remember, Frieza does not know how to hide his ki. So, Goku, a reluctant Raditz, and the rest of the Z-Fighters arrive towards where he'll be landing to face him. Frieza, thinking it would be more beneficial to just destroy the planet instead of landing there, forms a huge supernova attack and throws it at the Earth. Frieza is flabbergasted when the attack is thrown back by a huge Kamehameha. So, to reassert his power, he and a large number of his forces land on the Earth. But Frieza is in for another ugly surprise. I imagine Goku at this point in time at maybe a 4 or 5 million power level base. Remember, he has not stopped training since Trunks left, and Raditz won't be too far behind with around a 1 million power level. The other Z-Fighters are definitely strong enough and more skilled than the average Frieza soldier, and can take them down pretty easily. Everyone's growth stuns the Emperor and pushes him all the way back into his final form before he begins to retaliate, taking almost everyone out. Frieza then reveals that he has killed Vegeta and Nappa, and he will soon destroy Earth and everything that Goku has ever loved. Uh-oh, Frieza. Big mistake. Remember, this Goku isn't really used to not being strong enough. This is one of the first times in his life that he's ever been outpowered. And, much more, he's not so used to death. The only one he can really remember of someone who's close to him is Krillin, and that was a very long time ago. So all this rushing in pisses him off, and finally gives him that emotional trigger that he needs to reach the form he's been trying to his entire life. So with a cry of anguish, Goku screams to the sky, golden glow, he becomes a Super Saiyan, and is pissed. And actually, I think Goku is so mad here and strong enough that he might have accidentally pushed himself into Super Saiyan Grade 2, meaning he's far above Frieza, around maybe a 200, 250 million in power level. Needless to say, Goku would then thrash Frieza and give him countless chances to escape the planet without being killed, before finally lamenting and destroying the Emperor. Good. After the battle, the Dragon Balls are gathered, and everyone who was killed in this battle with Frieza, along with Nappa and Vegeta, all revived. So, we now move on to the Android Saga, and I'm sure everyone's been wondering, where is Trunks, and where are the androids? Remember how I said the Red Ribbon Army were a very easy W to go to? Well, that's because Trunks had instilled a very strong hatred for the organization. He created a situation in which there would be no chance that any Red Ribbons could survive. And if they did, they'd be way too scared of the strong warrior to retaliate in any type of way. This means that Dr. Gero would either been killed or too scared to ever make androids past Android 8. It also means that there are no androids and no Cell. And if we do get a Cell, he can only be in his imperfect form. As for Trunks, he does not come back to war for the androids. There's no reason to. The Red Ribbon Army has been destroyed, and the heart medicine mass produced, meaning Goku can take it over the counter. He cannot die of the virus in this timeline. So back in his own timeline, Trunks comes to the horrible realization that nothing he did in the past has changed his own time. This means that he has to kill the androids and restore the Earth to the way it was. Thankfully, I think Bulma and a handful of people would have still survived. They were able to do so for so long, the androids had no reason to destroy the entire planet, so I imagine they would have still been fine. So, realizing the small amount of strength he gained in his year of training with Goku, he decides to go back in time and seek out the one person he needs to help him, Master Roshi. Remember, Master Roshi was a big part in teaching Goku to be so strong, and he might hold answers that can help Trunks out. So, Trunks meets up with Master Roshi a little while before he begins to train with Goku, but he realizes that there was nothing Master Roshi could really do for him. So, Master Roshi sends Trunks to Korin, and Trunks goes to Korin and convinces him to give him the Silken Water. This would only give Trunks a 1.3 times boost cycle. But again, he would know this is not enough for him to take down the androids. So, Korin instructs him to fly up and beg common training. So Trunks flies up to the lookout and reveals his situation to Tommy, shocking him and Mr. Popo with the fact that he's from the future and his true power. Tommy would realize the gravity of the situation and would realize that his role as Earth's guardian should apply to Earths that are even in the timeline. So Tommy takes Trunks into the time chamber for one of his 2 days, and there they both get a bit stronger. After this, Trunks uses his last day and emerges strong enough to take down the androids. Kami then realized that with his new power, he needs to seal away his evil halves so they can still have control of the Dragon Ball.
Yo, what the hell?
Goku, so in case these androids came on this world timeline, they would still have it. Goku, Raditz, and Nappa train when Chi-Chi isn't working, and Vegeta trains constantly. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what Gohan's been doing this timeline, but he hasn't been doing anything. He lives a completely peaceful life, as I feel he would want to in a situation where he didn't have to fight. He might have tried training once or twice, but realized it really wasn't for him. Fighting is not his blood like it's in his father's. Goku is fine with that, and Chi-Chi is extra fine with that. But when they have their second son, Goten, he is extremely strong. Remember, S-cells. In this timeline, Goku has way more than he did in the original. So, Goten would be able to go Super Saiyan easily. Goku's also alive, so I feel like Chi-Chi wouldn't be bothering the boy after his father. He'd have his own personality, in which to be Trunks is lacking. Kid Trunks and Raditz's child, who we will call Ranch in this because I do love Moscow X, are older than Goten, and like their dads, like to fight and get stronger. So he still follows their lead a bit. And with Goku alive, he and Vegeta can fight all they want to, keeping Vegeta happy so they won't beat a Majin Vegeta in this situation. And speaking of the Majins, Supreme Kai comes down and is able to give the warning about Majin Buu to Goku. Goku would take the warning a bit more serious, as he is more serious thanks to the influence of T, or Trunks, who he at some point recognized in Kid Trunks and sought answers to, leading him to Kami, who revealed the truth of Trunks. So when Babidi and Dabura come, they are destroyed instantly. Super Saiyan 2 was found long ago by Goku and Vegeta. So we also get no Majin Buu in this timeline. And afterwards, life returns to what it was before, until Beerus wakes up and goes to Earth, looking for the Super Saiyan God. Like in the original timeline, Goku and everyone else takes him on, and they all get whooped, until Gohan has the idea to summon Shenron and asks him how to summon the Super Saiyan God. And remember, there are more than enough Saiyans to do the ritual, so Goku forms the Super Saiyan God and takes on Beerus, giving him a much better challenge, because remember, there's a stronger Goku in this situation. After this, Goku and the other Saiyans begin to train again with Whis, but Goku and Vegeta are the most fired up about it, and still unlock Super Saiyan Blue. Another big change is Frieza is not revived. I feel like Vegeta and Nappa during their rampage to attract the Emperor would have done a lot of damage, and after being revived, would have went and finished off the job. Even if Frieza was revived, 4 Super Saiyan Blues, or 2 in this case that are much stronger, would have been a moot point. He would have no chance. The Universe 6 tournament is very interesting though, as our team involves Nappa, Raditz, Goku, Vegeta, and Bonaga, who never sees combat. Nappa takes on Botamo and Magearna and wins, but gets kicked out by Kaba, and Kaba takes on Raditz, who teaches him Super Saiyan. This causes Vegeta to be much more jovial in the match, and he takes Kaba through the Super Saiyan forms after Kaba had taken out Raditz, before showing him the God forms and winning. Then he gets defeated by Hit, who Goku gets defeated by because remember, there's no Kaioken in this timeline. I think Goku could still befriend Hit, and Hit forfeits to Monaka. The Omni King shows up, leading to the Tournament of Power still being planned. Now we'll slow down a bit for this one, because the Goku Black arc is very interesting. The first major change is Trunks' timeline has been completely fixed. Kami, after hearing his story, decided he should help Trunks, and goes into the hyperbolic time chamber after he had sealed King Piccolo to begin training. He also at some point wishes himself to be young and continues training until he thinks he is strong enough to where Shenron's power could affect another timeline. Kami then makes a wish to repair Trunks' timeline. This revives everyone who was killed by the androids except Goku, because remember, he died from the heart virus, and the Dragon Balls cannot revive anyone who died by natural causes. This means Gohan and the other Z fighters come back to life, but I feel like most neglect to train. Maybe everyone but Vegeta. This means that when Goku Black comes, he still does a lot of damage, and Trunks still has to come to the present to get help. Goku is extremely happy to see his old teacher after 30 years or so, and is more than happy to go and face Goku Black with him. After they get whooped, in return, the plan to seal Goku Black with the Mafuba is put into action. And I feel like Raditz would be the one to learn it, as again, he's smarter, and he wouldn't be so dumb as to leave the sealing container. So the next time they came against Black, he would get sealed. And when Zamasu appeared, he gets sealed as well. Goku then asked Trunks to start training him, because they're going to need his help. There is a tournament coming up in which their universe could be destroyed if they don't win. And speaking of, the Tournament of Power arc has a much different team for Universe 7 this time. This time we have Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, a young Kami, Tien, Krillin, Master Roshi, and finally, Future Trunks and Goten. My reasons for this are, if you have 4 Super Saiyan Blues, you use them. Also, Kami knows the Makuba and is stronger than Master Roshi, so he could be just as much of an MVP as him. Tien and Krillin are there. Goten isn't the most mature, but he has the most potential out of anyone. He also isn't the same as his original timeline counterpart. Fighting is way more important to him, and fusion isn't a gimmick here. Goten is not a resort to them. Plus, there's no real danger of him dying in the tournament, and if he doesn't fight and they lose, everyone dies anyway. So there's no reason for him not to fight. Finally, Future Trunks has made such an impression on Goku that he just has to be one of his first picks. I don't see why they wouldn't allow it, as Trunks is from another timeline, but the timeline still takes place in Universe 7. Plus, Omni King kind of made rules up on the fly. Now guys, this would have been very, very, very long, so let's move it on. Major fights for the characters in the Tournament of Power still happen in this timeline, pretty much as is. There's only just more Saiyans and a young Kami. There aren't a huge amount of changes here. We still get perfect Ultra Instinct, yada yada yada. I'm very tired. So yes, Universe 7 does still win, and there is still a wish to restore the rest of the universe. Woo! That was a hard one, you guys, but I really...
So, what is going on guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies video on the channel, back with another Q&A, the series where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and answer them. So as always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. But let's get into this. Here we go. So the first question of today, and this has a ton of likes from Bloody Thorn, says, "Hey BOA, I have a question. What